I want to ask you, have you been chipping the mold? I'm so excited to hear from all of you, writing to me at Renu@renumehra.imageconsulting.com and sharing your stories about how you've been chipping the mold. I would like to share one with you. This young lady writes to me from the Middle East that she's married over there into a very overbearing family who expect her to do everything that they ask her to do immediately. She said she tried my first step and decided to go ahead with chipping the mold. At 10 a.m., her mother-in-law walked into the room while she was reading something and asked her to go into the kitchen and start cooking immediately. She sweetly smiled at her and said, "Mom, I'm just going to be there with you in a little while. I'm reading something, I would like to finish it." The mother-in-law stood stunned in her tracks but did not say anything. The young girl said she smiled sweetly and carried on reading, and the mother-in-law walked away. She had chipped the mold. She realized that she didn't have to be aggressive, but if she could gently keep chipping the mold, she would get her message across. Thank you so much for writing to me. Getting on to our next step. Today's step is very interesting. It's a small exercise, a simple exercise, but which is going to help us build our confidence. It is called Let's Dial Confidence. Yes, you and me are going to dial confidence. So what does the exercise entail? You know, each one of us is so much into our telephones. We are chatting, we are messaging, and we are talking continuously over our phones 24/7. So I thought, why not take a cue from this? So what are you expected to do? You have to make 2 calls. The first call is going to be to somebody whom you have not connected with for a long time. It could be a school friend, a colleague, or even a relative whom you haven't spoken to in a long time. But there are certain rules to making this call. Rule number 1, you will make only an audio call. Rule number 2, you will only talk about positives in your life. If need be, take your diary, make a note of those positives that you want to talk about and keep it in front of you. But focus only on the positives. Thirdly, you must conclude the talk by saying how happy you are to connect and that you are so glad that you took the initiative to connect back again. So that is for call number 1. Remember, you're going to call a person you haven't connected with, and you are going to keep these 3 rules in mind. The second call. The second call is going to be either to a service provider or a property dealer or a car dealer, something that you have been wanting to buy for a long time, but it's not really that you're going to buy it. It's just that you need to connect with that person. Rules for this call. First thing, you will introduce yourself and ask whom can you speak to regarding product A, B or C, whatever you're wanting to talk about. Rule number 2, you are going to study a bit about that product so that you come from knowledge and you can discuss it with confidence once the person on the other side is talking to you about it. Number 3, you are going to conclude the conversation by asking them to call you back on a particular date and a particular time. Say, call me day after between 11 and 11:30 a.m. So these 2 calls are very important to build your confidence. You can ask me, how are they going to help you build your confidence? The number 1 thing which is going to happen is that you are going to sound in control. Since you practiced it, since you've written down your points, you are going to be just in control. That is excellent for our confidence. Number 2, Because you are coming from control, you are going to be sounding strong and authoritative. That voice of authority and strength is a big booster for your confidence. Thirdly, it's going to help you build your primary and your secondary network, which can be a big aid in building your confidence in today's world. So if you've noted down these points, get going. Believe in yourself. Stay strong, for you and me are going to dial that confidence call. Waiting to see you next time and looking forward to hearing from you.